Throughout its 4-season run, it's safe to say Attack on Titan has had some of the best anime openings of all time, ranging from absolute classics like Guren no Yumiya and Shinzou Wo Sasageyo to more underrated gems like Red Swan and The Last Titan, which is truly the best Attack on Titan opening. Of course, that answer is going to heavily vary from person to person, so let's try to keep the discussion civilized in the comments. I'll be judging each opening with two criterias: the music and the visuals of the opening, as basing each opening off of their songs alone would be way too difficult. Trust me, there's some all-time classics here. Of course, as well, I also won't be including Attack on Junior High because that's spin-off and we're only looking at the main series here. But without further delay, let's begin with... Even though My War is last in this list, it's still a certified banger. In fact, Attack on Titan is one of those very rare shows where pretty much all the openings are an 11 out of 10, which made this video a pain in the ass to write, I'll be honest. My main problem with this OP is that it's a little too generic in a way. The use of extremely minimal colors with a white landscape helps it stand out amongst the other 7 AOT OPs, but it just doesn't really scream Attack on Titan. In fact, if you remove the brief appearance of the scouts and Eren's Attack Titan at the very end, this OP could very well be used for just about any generic war show, although it definitely does a good job of setting the tone for the final season, making it clear that Titans are no longer the sole enemy, but instead the bastards of humanity, both outside as well as inside the walls of Paradis. And that's not even touching on the music with the extremely catchy chorus and overall melody of the song, highlighting the fact that this season will be arguably the darkest yet, as Eren is at his lowest mentally, thanks to the awakening of his Titan's dormant power during the last few episodes of season 3. Once again, even though this opening is at the bottom of the list, it's still incredible, especially with the use of minimal colors and Eren's Attack Titan being trailed by both the Warhammer and Armor Titan through the haze of war, although the overall reliance of explosions is a bit much. Okay, I won't lie, the season 4 openings are definitely carried by their songs, but acting as sort of the calm before the storm is what put this over My War. Well, that and it actually feels like Attack on Titan, but that's besides the point. Admittedly, this OP lets us know shit is about to hit the fan, and fast, where both sides of the upcoming struggle for humanity's future prepare for war, followed by the Wall Titans taking a leisurely stroll across Marley, with the Jaeger Bros doing a little bit of trolling. Going back to the calm before the storm, this OP focuses on the division between the main cast, with glimpses of the past to show how far we've come, which crescendos with Eren, Reiner, Peak, and Porco clashing for control over the walls, which, as we've already been shown, is a futile battle. Also, a cool little detail you probably missed: if you pause during the transition from the Cart Titan to the Jaw Titan, you can actually see Ymira's reflection in the window, which is pretty neat. After the splash of Titan shifters, we quickly transition into rumbling properly, as the World Alliance fires across the ocean at the Colossal Titans. The flash of Eren reverting from genocidal maniac into young Eren being above the clouds could also foreshadow the iconic freedom scene from the first special, so add that to the list of potential foreshadowing I missed, which increases as the people of the world look up in horror at the impending fiery doom that's slowly approaching them, which ironically is a transition towards the old scouts standing atop the walls, mirroring Shinzou Wo Sasageyo, although with the addition of Ymir and Historia. Finally, the ending comes to its conclusion with the trio rising to the tree upon the hill, followed by a quick evolution of Eren, which is stomped out by the crushing force of the rumbling. Interestingly, the last frame of this OP is that of a butterfly crushed on the ground, symbolizing both a lack of hope created by the rumbling, as well as the loss of freedom for those living outside the walls, as butterflies are known to symbolize hope, freedom, and love. Of course, a dead butterfly would most definitely represent the exact opposite. The music is a nice change of pace from the usual Linked Horizon, opting for heavy metal to intensify the wrath of the rumbling, as well as Eren's internal struggle towards activating the rumbling. It's definitely a step up from My War, but maybe a little bit too spoilery. At least keep the activation of the rumbling and a slight miss of ambiguity. I'm sure this won't be controversial, being both above My War and Rumbling. Red Swan has an oddly nostalgic feel to it, which is held by the parallels between the kid and at that time modern variations of each character featured. Out of every opening, this is by far the most visually beautiful, if that makes sense. The way the characters are animated, the lighting, the detail, it all comes together to make such an amazing opening. Again, this OP is completely focused on the past, as we see the main trio run about through the yet to be decimated streets of Shikabane, Levi growing up in the underground city with Kenny, Erwin's possible regards to feeling partially responsible for his father's death, Historia's stolen memories with Frida, the birth of Eren, and very briefly, the Marley warriors on their trek to Wall Moria, before coming to an end with Eren reflecting on the past. The basement key dangles into frame, bringing us back to the past once more. Again, even the song has that oddly nostalgic feeling to it, reflecting both on the past and relating back to the plot of Season 3 Part 1, the concept of forged and stolen memories, thanks to the power the founder possesses. Honestly, out of every opening, it's safe to say Red Swan may just be the most underrated, possibly thanks to the second OP of the season, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, what's there to say that's already been said about this absolutely iconic opening? From the intense build-up to the clash between the scouts and Reiner to the focus on dedicating your heart and soul to the cause, it's all so perfect. Well, near perfect. Steaming hot take with this one, I think it overhyped season 2. Yes, I know, before you write your angry comments, docking an opening for being too hype is a fucking stupid reason, but hear me out. Do we see the Colossal Titan throw a fucking mountain at the scouts? Or Eren and Mikasa do this wombo combo move on the Armored Titan during season 2? I rest my case. In all seriousness though, this is an incredible opening. It just gets you so damn hyped for Attack on Titan. Going back to overhyping, I do wish we got at least some kind of Beast Titan lore during the season that was heavily focused on in the later half of the opening. Like, where were the dinosaur and whale Beast Titans during the last episode? Is Eren stupid? It's pretty fitting that the final opening is a brief recap of the entire show so far, beginning with Eren's birth, the fall of Walmaria, Eren saving Mikasa, his first appearance as the Attack Titan, building up to Eren running towards the Colossal Titan, as we're very quickly shown the first appearance of the female Titan, the death of Levi Squad, the destruction in Stohess caused by Eren fighting Annie, the scouts getting massacred by Zeke, and Faye's incredibly brutal death, followed by Willy Tybur getting murked by Eren, who finally builds up the courage to face Bertolt, before getting crushed by the rumbling in quite possibly the sleekest transition in this series. My god, it's too peak. After Eren gets flattened, we're brought to the past and assaulted by a barrage of scenes from the past, climaxing with Eren yelling as the Alliance mentally prepares themselves to face the rumbling. Finally, the opening comes to a close as the Alliance face Eren head-on with some insanely detailed works of art, finishing with Eren inside his Titan mount and standing among the wasteland with Ymir. This opening in combination with the music is so peak, especially with the lyrics "Kill Me If You Can" appearing right as the Alliance faces Eren, although the end of the opening feels a little rushed by just flashing artwork on screen. Why they block Falcon though? Do I really need to explain myself with this one? It's the definition of an iconic anime opening. From the cadets standing in the bloody field to the cadets absolutely slaying the shit out of that one Titan. In fact, this is the only Attack on Titan opening to have an alternative version made, that being the John version of Guren no Yumiya, created for the best episode in the series. That of course being A Sudden Visitor, the torturous curse of adolescence, a light novel name looking as. The main changes to the opening are of course switching Eren out for John, as well as adding Jean to the part of the OP that flashes manga panels. Jean also joins Eren in the air and commands the cadets to kill the Titans instead of helping, which is a very fun detail to add. And finally, during the iconic part where Eren lunges at the Colossal Titan, Jean flies by overhead to catch a glimpse of the action. While this opening is truly a core part of Attack on Titan's DNA, there was one better season 1 opening. When I say this opening is a masterpiece, I truly mean it. Just every little detail adds up to something amazing. Starting with the plugged wall of trust, moving into the open greens of Titan territory, with a soldier's march beating in the background, which is blown away by the guitar rip as Eren switches out his blades, with each of the main characters flashing on screen over a desolate battlefield, followed up by a near constant barrage of action, and even foreshadowing Hanji losing her eye in season 3. One of this opening's biggest strengths, at least in my opinion, is keeping the female Titan a secret, only ever showing it covered in darkness or in the far off distance, further adding to the mystery of the Titan Shifter's identity, which is of course a core part of the second half of season 1. However, despite how peak this opening is, there's one that's even better. Of course, the best Attack on Titan opening is Crush on Ball, truly displaying Zeke's struggle with his euthanasia plan, as he too is a victim of Reddit's No Nut November. I truly cannot express in words just how perfect this opening is, especially with such tear-jerking lyrics such as "If I lose my ball, second doll, I will never come again." And of course, Reiner randomly getting murdered is truly a representation of his suicidal tendencies? Yeah, I can't give this bit up anymore. Despite how masterful Crush on Ball by Zim is able to bait people, the best Attack on Titan opening in my opinion is... This is perfection, condensed into 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's truly no other words to describe opening 5. There's just something about the green color grading, the PS1-esque splash graphics, the slow motion preparation, the devastation caused by Bertolt's Oppenheimer transformation, images of Shikabane being used as transitions, a metric fuck ton of spoilers crammed into a literal second, ending with a montage of the outside world and a final shot of the basement, adding a foreboding layer to this immaculate OP. It's just all so damn peak. But listen, we stand opening 5 on this channel. If you disagree, argue with the wall. Well, there we go. Every Attack on Titan opening ranked from worst to best. Overall, there wasn't really any stinkers. In fact, the worst AOT opening is better than like 95% of most anime openings. Undoubtedly, it is going to be a very controversial video when looking in the comments, so let's try to keep things civilized. Think about it though, it's a little weird that only one opening was given an alternative version. I suppose since we've ranked all the openings, we might as well also rank all the endings, so stay tuned in the future for that video. Yeah, I don't really know how to do a smooth ending, so subscribe.